Hi. Okay, so this dream I had around November 1st, 2020. I was in a facility with a bunch of people and of all ages, but mostly children. And there were blankets and pillows everywhere. And it was packed full of people, and there were people sleeping on the floor. And I remember just sitting there kind of talking to some kids and playing with the kids. And uh, all of a sudden, these men come up to me and they said that I had to come with them. And so we walked out, and in the front there was an unmarked, all blacked out car that was sitting out front. And they put me in the back seat, and then they started to drive off. And they took me to this first location. And when we drove up to it, it was this all glass, really tall building. And I didn't know, I didn't notice, I didn't realize where I was. I mean, I couldn't tell what building this was or where I was. But anyways, they get out of the car and they're standing by my door talking, and I couldn't hear them. I couldn't understand what they were saying. But then they opened the car door and they tell me to get out. So I got out, and when I got out, I looked back in the car down at the floorboard, and I had two Bibles that were sitting on the floorboard under my feet that I didn't realize until I got out. But I immediately saw those, and they were my Bibles, but there were two different Bibles. And the Bible, the original Bible that you see today, like that I have lots of notes and everything in it. It was sitting there, and then there was another Bible that was on top of that Bible, but it was a different type of Bible. And from the dream, I don't really know what type of Bible it was. I just knew that it was different, but it had a lock on it. And as these guys were talking, I was looking down at the Bibles, and inside of me, I was getting really nervous because I didn't want them to take me in and then find my notes that I had written. And so I was just very nervous that they were going to read all the notes that I had written in these Bibles, that they were going to find things. And so anyways, they ended up telling me to go ahead and get back in the car. So I got back in the car, they shut the door, and we started to drive off. So we didn't go inside that building. We started to drive off, and I'm looking, I'm sitting in the back, and I'm looking straight through it in front of me, through the front windshield, up in front. And I could see that we were pulling into, we were out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there was nothing around us, and it was just a lot of it was just a big white space of open land. And so we pull up, and I see these big bulldozers and just lots of digging going on, and they were huge, big holes. And then I see a guy that was in charge of everything, and he was kind of guarding everything, and he was military, and he had a beret on, and he was foreign. And he looked straight through the window at me, and he had this big smile, and he was just laughing. And they stopped the car, and then the guys get out, they start talking to him, and then they come around to the car, and they open the door, and they tell me to get out. So I got out of the car, and I started to look at what they were doing and what this guy was guarding, and I felt like just this horrible presence of death. Like they were digging holes for like just our grave sites. It just seemed like it was a grave site of where they were going to put millions, of bodies, just lots of bodies down in the ground. And then behind this military guy, there was this huge, big olive tree, and it was a very mature tree. You could tell it was hundreds of years old, and it was bigger than a house. It was huge. It was just really big, and they had dug this tree up, and then all of a sudden, I see the tree lifted up, and I saw a hand on the tree, the trunk of the tree, which was huge, but a huge hand was on the trunk of this tree, and that hand puts the tree out towards us. So you could see like all the bushy part of it, the green and the limbs and the leaves and everything, and points it towards us, and then that tree just started spinning out of control like a tornado, the whole leaf part of it and branches, and it just started spinning out of control. And I look at the hand, and I knew right then it was the hand of God. And you can only see the hand to the forearm, and there was like, just like a robe type. It was just the forearm and the hand. And I knew immediately it was the hand of God. And he was pointing it out towards these bad people, these troops. And it was anger. Like he was holding it out in anger. And he was just, you could tell it was the hand of God, and he was angry. And then I woke up. And I wanted to share these facts with you. I went online, and I just started, just looked up the olive tree, what its meaning is. And this is what I wrote down. It says, the first olive tree appeared in Syria. The olive tree represents peace, friendship, and indestructible. Its average lifespan is 300 to 600 years. And then it popped up, and it said, in Revelation, the two witnesses are symbolized as the two olive trees and the two lampstands that have the power to destroy their enemies, control the weather, and cause plagues. So anyways, I found that interesting, but yep, I just wanted to share that dream with you guys, and I've got some more to follow. Thank you.